Hey there, this is Jeff, and welcome to the final episode of our change order series. This is part 5 of 5, and if you've been with me since the beginning, thank you very much. To recap, we've talked through the financial, logistical, and trust-based parts of change orders, the ones that show up because of poor planning, vague scopes, and unexpected site conditions. And today we're going to take a look at a very different kind of change order, the one that comes from how the space makes you feel. As an analogy, designing your remodel without visuals is like picking furniture for a room you've never seen. It might look great in the catalog, but you won't know if it really works until you see it in the space. In this episode, we're covering number 1, why a vision mismatch is a huge cause of change orders. Number 2, how 3D design helps clients make better decisions, and how we use renderings to reduce regret and rework. We had a client say something to us once that had a big impact on me. And she said, I've already lived in this space and we haven't even started building yet. And that was kind of like, what? But she explained that with the idea of reviewing the 3D renderings of her kitchen and the family room, and we also had a fly-through movie with that, how it really walked her through it. And like she said, she stood in the space. She even imagined her kids doing homework at the island. And she said, I know this is right because she could feel it. And, that's just great to hear. And that's what 3D design does. It helps people make confident decisions well before construction begins. So you don't have to second guess it once the drywall's up. And that's what this episode is about. And let's get into that emotional side of remodeling, because sometimes change orders don't come from missed scope or wiring in the wall. It comes from inside the client's heart. That moment where they look at the room and go, I don't like how this feels. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. Because that imagination gap is real. When you're only using traditional floor plans or 2D sketches or even just material samples, they help, but they're abstract. So when the framing goes up or the tile goes down, that's often the first time they're really seeing it. And that's when regret can show up. And with it, that's typically followed with a change order. And time is also going to be a big impact with that as well. And so here's the important link back to what we covered earlier in the series. This is the kind of change order that also looks like a client requested change. But let's be real, it's not, because the client didn't change their mind. They just finally saw the thing that they thought they already approved. It wasn't it. And that's not really a client-driven change. That's a visual planning failure. And it ties directly to what we talked about in episode 3, that when we make people decide mid-build, we're not giving them agency, we're giving them anxiety. And that's why we lean hard on 3D visualization. We render the actual space with their layout, their finishes, their fixtures, and they can visually stand in the space, walk through it, feel it before we ever build it. I mean, it is the closest thing to that. And that's just not cool tech. It's one of the most powerful ways to reduce regret and stop change orders that happen because of emotionally reactive second guessing, which is totally normal in that situation. Because when you've already seen the vision, you don't have to go back and change it halfway through. You've already bought in. So here's what I want you to ask when you're planning your remodel. Will I get to see 3D visuals before we build? Can I walk through the space virtually and make adjustments then? And if the answer is no, or if they brush it off, again, that's a sign you need to dig into that a little bit more, because no matter how beautiful the drawings are, the moment that matters most is when you feel like it's yours. That's the kind of clarity we aim to give our clients. And that's the goal of everything we've shared in this series, a remodel process that feels just as good as the finished space. So thanks so much for listening to this change order series. And whether you work with us or someone else, I hope you take this mindset with you into your next project. Don't forget to grab the change order planning guide. It's free and it's full of the questions, insights, and red flags we've covered throughout this series. And you can download it now in the link below. Thank you.